school last year. Rwanda just came out of almost genocide in 1994. 24 years later, almost every child of primary school age in Rwanda goes to school for free. You can register a business in Rwanda within 6 hours online, and if you show up in their office, you can do it in 2 hours. The only Carnegie Mellon engineering campus in the whole of Africa is in Rwanda. The only campus of the African Institute of Mathematical Sciences in Africa is in Rwanda. Last week, the United Nations declared Kigali, the capital of Rwanda, as the most beautiful city in Africa and the greenest city in Africa. A country that was in genocide in 1994. Claire Akamanzi, who runs the Rwanda Development Board, which is a cabinet position equal to the Ministry of Economy in Nigeria, is a 37-year-old young woman who was my senior, 1 year just ahead of me at the Harvard Kennedy School. Singapore, 5 million people, 142% mobile penetration rate into their country, top 5 least corrupt countries in the world, almost like 5% unemployment rate, 97% literacy rate, a country that Lee Kuan Yew picked up 30-something years ago and wrote his book From Third World to First. A country that people laughed at. When the UAE became a republic, when Nigeria became a republic in 1960, the UAE was still just a group of emirates that were covered by sand and water. Today, last year when the Prime Minister of the UAE sponsored 20 of us Kennedy School students to come to the UAE to understudy their public policy frameworks for 1 week, I had the privilege of engaging the Prime Minister and 4 of the ministers. And they are already planning to export their last barrel of oil. The UAE has the youngest minister of youth in the world, Shama Al-Mazrui, 22-year-old Oxford grad. The Bible says that it is vision that will set people free. And the Bible also tells me that it's the youth that have the vision. I'll slow this thought slightly. When we advocate for youth inclusion, I'm of the school of thought that it's not even just enough to be a youth. What I want to see is more young people with competent character and capacity in positions of authority. Because what we would simply do is to replace irresponsible old people with irresponsible young people. So we're not even wanting just any kind of youth. We want quality young people that have a deep understanding of the issues, that would be able to challenge the status quo. And I will rest my case by returning home to saying that at the end of the day, leadership is at the very core of all that we're going to do. You cannot have a country where the legislature is in bed with the executive, such that there's no checks and balances like I was taught in separations of power in SS2 government. You cannot have a country where the worst people who have set for jobs in every sector and did not find are the ones you recruit as our teachers. You cannot have a country where 70-year-olds are the ones who want to be governors and presidents. Reason being that there's no way they should be deliberating on the future they are not going to be part of. And in closing, I just want to say something that I say again, because all my mentors taught me the importance of repetition. It is that Occupy Nigeria 2012, when the children of the poor in this country rise against the children of the rich, that is the beginning of the revolution. You guys can sit in your nice, cozy-looking homes, believing that Nigeria belongs to just a few people. But until your children are not able to come back home on holiday, you will understand the reality of the Nigeria that we are creating where young people have no jobs. So in 2012, poor young people didn't go to the poor parts of Nigeria. In Lagos, for example, area boys went to Victoria Garden City and told them that if they don't come out and give them food and stuff, they will go into their estate and rape all their daughters. And so, as we talk about the issue of unemployment, Chief Raymond Dokwesi, I thank you, I celebrate you. I believe that this is not a conversation that must end here. Yeah. Because the media is responsible for framing these conversations. This event has 500 people in this room, but it can reach 5 million people when AIT puts it on television tonight. So this conversation needs to continue. Let it be your social responsibility. Because the great men are the ones that think of legacies. They're not the ones that think about their pockets. Because great men think about the next generation. Politicians think about the next election. I thank you.
Thank you.